Alright guys, so I haven't really been filming. It's late at night, again, because that seems to be when I work. I just kind of put my head down and just kind of been going, trying to knock this thing out. Like I said, we have deadlines to go to. I think September 19th, there's a show coming up that I would really love to make with this Tahoe, just to give it a nice little like test run as far as driving down the road and playing, doing several demos, and being able to really test it out before Wake the Dead. And that way I can get any of the little wrinkles ironed out that I know are going to come up. So that's the goal right now, is to get this thing in and subs playing by September 19th. And then hopefully be able to knock out my mids and highs at some point. If I don't have it done by this show, then to get it done by Wake the Dead. So I've got to get some new component speakers. I had some Resilient Sounds 8-inch Neos, and went to look for one because one broke. The surround fell apart on, and they don't sell that model anymore. So Resilient Sounds has offered to give me a pretty good discount on some stuff if I order new ones from them. So I may just order 4 new 8s. That's what I was planning on running, was like 4 8s and 2 tweets. But yeah, I'll give you a little mid build. Let me open my camera lens again. So there's what the inside of the box looks like right now. I've got my rails all mounted and peeled in, and then yeah, so I have the shell done with the mounting rails for the baffle. This is the baffle up here. My table broke that I was working on, so it's laying out in the yard now. So there's the baffle. I'm doing work on it right now. I got the port piece all cut out. That's where the port will set into, and then there's the port sitting over there on the ground. So yeah, basically it's getting the speaker holes cut out. I got my jig in today, my circle jig for my speakers, because I actually wanted to use a circle jig this time instead of having to jigsaw everything, but it came in broke. It's one of those plexi ones, and it came in broke. So I glued it, and I'm hoping it's going to work. So we're going to see if it's going to work. If it doesn't, then we're going to have to jigsaw, which I hate jigsawing because your holes always come out a little jagged, and it's just impossible to get them perfect. But you know, I know nobody sees them, but I would love to have perfect speaker holes this time. So, but yeah, there's the big old baffle, 3 layers thick. Like I said, it's not glued yet. I've got it screwed together, but not glued. I just got 4 corners tacked, and that way I could use my flush trim bit and cut out this giant hole. I had to jigsaw this, which, like I said, I hate jigsaws. I despise using a jigsaw for anything rather than just like craft grade stuff. But I did an okay job on this. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. We'll smear enough PL on it that it won't matter. So anyway, there's that, and yeah, you can see one little goof up I had right there. But anyway, it's working out okay. We went and got the rest of the birch today, so that's what I cut out of that. We have several half sheets left over here, which will be nice for sealing off the cabin and stuff, and doing wood roof and all that good stuff that we're doing. But anyway, guys, there's the progress update. So I'm gonna keep kind of going on this. I'm gonna have to play with that circle jig for a while because I've never used one. So I'm gonna grab an old scrap piece of just like regular plywood over there that's not birch, and play with getting my speaker holes perfect, and that way I can grab one of the empty baskets in there and test fit and make sure I got everything perfect before I actually goof up on 3 sheets of birch. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to it. So guys, sorry I'm not doing as many updates. This is yet another day later. We've got the big circles cut for the beauty panel on top of the subwoofer baffles. Now we got to do the smaller inner circles that the subs actually mount on. So we've got 2 of those to do, but I just wanted to do a quick progress update real quick and show you the beauty panels. My circle jig, I had to do a lot of modifications to. It's sort of working. I would say it's working better than a jigsaw, but it's not like super precise because there's a little bit of play in it, but it's still better than a jigsaw. So it's about as fast, though. It's very slow. The bit I bought was supposed to be like a speed bit and make super clean cuts, but it's very, very slow. And you can see it gets the wood pretty toasty in places. I actually had a ember fall a while ago and all this sawdust. So I've had to really be careful and really watch, make sure there's no embers. The sawdust is not actually getting caught on fire. That time, after that happened, the next hole, I would cut for a little bit and then scoot it all the way back to a clear space and wait 10 seconds. And then cut for another 10-15 seconds and scoot it back. And going back and forth really seemed to help that. But we're going to finish all this. My wife actually left with her truck a while ago, and my round over bit's in there. So we have to wait till she gets back, and we're going to round all those over and make them look pretty. So the next one's down. We got to cut a little bit smaller. And so, yeah, we're going to do that. All right, I just wanted to get a visualization, so I just slapped a piece of plywood on the back there with that panel in, and that's the port in. I just wanted to get somewhat of what it was going to look like. And this is so exciting. I'm so stoked. Let's go. Yeah. Did everything turn out exactly the way I wanted it to? No. Did it turn out still pretty freaking fantastic? Yeah, it did. I am loving that. Figured out one thing I'm gonna have to do. It's this little spot right here. I'm probably gonna have to trim those out with my grinder, because I didn't really realize those back sub holes come that close. If I would have realized that, I could have made an adjustment, and I could have brought the back holes in a little further, because those can kind of go wherever I want them to. But I just did it like this for visuals. My front light went out, but I just kind of I did it like this for visuals. I put the two front ones close together and the two back ones farther apart, just to kind of, you know, make it look a certain way, and have the subs right there in the port, you know, that way it'd be all pretty and everything. But I didn't realize until it was too late, which is not the end of the world. I can just take my grinder. I can just, once I get the bottom pieces cut, like I said, there's 2 more layers to go on this baffle. Once I get those smaller holes cut, I can see exactly where the sub is going to land. It may still miss that, and I'm hoping it does. If it doesn't, I can just mark out that little section. You know, it'll be even less than what's showing there. I can just mark that out, and then I can just come in with my grinder and cut a little half moon out of either side of that. But yeah, stuff's starting to get super exciting. Can't wait. All right, I've got a lot more routering to do. I've still got to router 8 more holes. So here we go. Let's get to it. Another quick little update before my camera dies. I've been working on the baffle, so I got all 3 of the baffle pieces cut out. I think I showed you that guys earlier. It's been so long between shots that I kind of forget what I'm doing. So I went ahead and got all my speaker holes cut. The circle jig didn't quite work out like I thought it was going to, so I ended up having to go ahead and jigsaw all the baffle pieces. I got this piece done, the beauty panel done with the circle jig, but then when it came time to do these speaker holes, I just did on my jigsaw, and you know, they're not great, but frankly, once I slap some primer on them and some paint, I don't think you'll even be able to tell once the subs are in. So after this glue gets done drying, I'll get the 3rd panel. I ran out of short screws. I got down to like 8 screws. Luckily, I got this panel done. So I used about twice the amount of screws on this that I did the other pieces, since it's got so many like little cuts and stuff like that. I ended up having to use a lot more screws just to make sure I got every little piece clamped down really good. But it was oozing glue everywhere because I used a crap ton of glue on it. But one thing I noticed I'm not really sure how I did it. I'm not sure if it was a discrepancy with the circle jig or what, but I did these pieces and I measured them all out where my center hole was, and then as you can see, I drew lines on top connecting all the 2 different lines. Like I drew a straight line across here connecting these 2, I drew a straight line across there connecting these 2, and then I drew lines back. And then when I put my second, you know, the 2 bottom pieces, because it's 3 layers, so I did this as its own piece, and then I did the other 2 layers together. When I went to start trying to do those, I cut all the holes out, and the holes were misaligned by like half an inch. So setting the speakers down inside the beauty panel, they were not lining up here. So I ended up having to go back and redraw a little bit bigger circle and cut the beauty panel out just a little bit more, so the subs would fit flush with the actual mounting holes. So I still don't know what happened there. Like, I have no idea what happened with that, because I mean, even my lines match. Like I said, that's the reason I drew the lines. As you can see right here, this line goes all the way up, and then when you drop down to the beauty panel, that line just keeps going. Like, I have no idea. If I would have been smart, I would have kept all three pieces together, drew my center marks, and then I would have drilled all the way through three pieces and had all the same center mark. But I didn't do that. I just measured them all out. I just measured them both individually and then cut my circles, and they were different. So I have no idea. But anyway, it's done now. So what it is right now is what it's going to be. So I'll sand them out a little bit and take some of the waves out of them, and I don't even think you'll be able to notice. I really don't care at this point. I'm just ready to get this sucker in the truck. So anyway, when we next come back to you, I'm quitting for the night. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. So when we next come back to you, I'm going to attach the third and final piece to the baffle. We're going to get the baffle in. I want to get the baffle in before I cut my front port. I have the three pieces still loose here for that front port, because I'm going to use a flush trim bit, and I'm literally going to go right here dead even with the baffle, and then I'm going to go dead even with the roof, because that port perfectly lines up with the baffle and the roof. Just in case there's a little 1/16 of a discrepancy between the two, I want to use that flush trim bit and just make sure they're absolutely dead even. So probably what I'll do is end up rough cutting the front port, and then I'll use the flush trim bit on the floor and the roof to get it perfectly even. Oh, my light went out. Again, motion lights. And that way they're just absolutely flush, and I don't have to worry about it. And then as far as the sidewalls go, I'll just have to cut those out with probably like a jigsaw and just really take my time and make it pretty. But I'm thinking the corners are supposed to be square. I'm thinking about rounding them a little bit, just to make it a little prettier. It won't change anything. But I'm thinking about doing that. I still haven't made up my mind yet. But I didn't realize I still have two front 45 pieces to cut, little short 45s that go on either side of the back of the port. And then I still have to go and cut a 45 that goes at the bottom of the port in the rear port. I completely forgot about those pieces. So, and we definitely want to get those in there, because those do make a difference. There's been a lot of people prove through tests online showing major increase and major gains from adding 45s. So we are going to do that. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Not really sure where this video is going. I know it's not been as in-depth, but I'm basically doing the same thing that I've been doing. I mean, I'm cutting out panels, screwing a bigger piece to the top of it, flush trim routing it, and doing that 2 more times, and then glue and screwing it all together. I showed that in the previous video, so if you want to watch that kind of stuff, go watch the previous video. But much beyond that, I'll probably get more in depth when I actually start assembling the box this time. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you when we come back.